Okay, I just lost. That was stupid. uh, yeah, so I pretty much lost everyone. And okay, that was really bad one. I'm hoping that I will die fast, actually. So there's a small chance that I will respawn with a decent size of the army. Okay, I'm changing my strategy here. Actually, did it hang up or... No, it's just going very slowly. Okay, I have this thing and I already respawned, right? Okay, I'm with 1,700 knights. I'm gaining 4 points. That's... I'll actually write this down because why not? I should have done this after several hours, but it's never too late. So I'm gaining 4 points per turn, which is not that horrible, I would say. I mean, it's pretty much a damage control at this point, but it's still an idea. Okay, since apparently I'm pretty sure that I cannot do anything smarter, both here and here. Yep, I'm pretty much just waiting. I will get some more stuff to drink. And am I dying right now? Not yet. It's actually pretty good. People are avoiding me. It's for the 10th place. I still get some points. I mean, look at them, suckers. And I will gradually be able to build better result here. I mean, I'm already at 5th position and at 4th. I mean, with 7 cottages, I should be able to have a decent start. Still, okay, so I'm doing... Okay, be right back. Of course, I will... Okay, this won't be very entertaining. So I'll try to be back fast. And I'm back. Nothing changed, almost, except I'm as always when I'm away, it gets better. I love it. Okay, and I'm actually in decent position, even though I completely messed that up. Yeah, I should do the screen. Okay, I won't eat on the stream. Sorry. I'm back. Is anyone alive? Oh, crap, I forgot to change to the... what happened here? Okay. Okay. Okay, so only 300 turns more. Not much, not many, and I'm not dying yet, but I still very exhausted. I'm doing well here, it seems. Still here. Where are you from, by the way? It's 2:40 a.m. here. Godelex, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I just tried to open. It's getting really late, but still here. Yeah, it's really late. And unfortunately, it's not that interesting. I guess it can be fun if you're doing other stuff as well. I wish I had more energy. England. Okay, so it's 1:40, right? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, I actually feel that there are no sure things right now. But at least it seems like I have a decent score. And surprisingly, you can do very little coding, lots of talking, and still get a decent score, at least in one of the servers. So you see, it's it's not that hard, guys. And probably the most funny thing is that all I did was very simple, very stupid stuff. The things that got me high score are just some very, very simple decisions that it's just that I made a lot of thinking. I've invested a lot of time into each of those decisions. I also work like that in those contests that my solution is extremely simple. I'm probably repeating myself, but well, yeah, I'm definitely repeating my. Wait, what? I thought that I saw that guy. My eyes are failing me. I should shut up, pretty much. 72, okay. So he got 22. That's a lot, but I still think I have a room for improvement. It's hard to tell, but it should be possible. I mean, I still control a small part of the map, and the bad part in my solution is that, okay, something very small is scouting here. The bad part of my solution is that, for example, if I would spawn somewhere here, by spawning I mean creating a new squad, I would actually move to somewhere where I already know instead of scouting. Because if none other units are going from this area, it probably means that there are no active enemies around here, which probably means that the best I could do is actually move into that area. And so another thing I could implement, which is actually very easy to do, is to force scouting in some specific areas. In that way, okay, this one is almost dead because it's a small circle. So I'm not sure if it's visible on the stream. The bigger ones means that the size of the army is above 200. There are also, okay, I guess those are different versions. Okay. Okay, so I'm done another round, and I haven't implemented the all-in strategy, which would be so much useful here. Well, not incredibly, but still very useful. Okay. Okay, some people have some maniacal laugh. How much? Okay, I get 19 per turn. Probably I should get a little bit more. Like small. So people are using very small squads for scouting, or maybe those are those squads for some players that don't use any cottages. Hard to say. Well, okay, I should really shut up and just implement the all-in stuff. So I'm holding the first position here. Actually, I have 14 points of lead over them. That's nice. Noise. And the global ranking, okay, Charles University Legend have 10 points lead over Past Glory, haha. And Aim Fund is, well, really behind right now, but it's still, we have 7.5 hours left. I don't want to do the math, but I'm guessing already 40% of the points were already distributed. So we're fighting for 50, maybe probably around 60% of the points. Well, it's possible. Well, I could just write a short program, but as I said earlier, I'm just trying to stay away from everything that requires any work. Okay, I'm doing quite okay. I'm actually expanding my small empire. And okay, this one finished. This one is in the middle, but it's doing pretty okay. I lost those two. So actually, in the end, it turned out that there's an enemy hit there. That's a very small army. Why people are using power of twos? Okay, yay! Huge map. Here we go. We love huge maps, like other huge things. Why am I doing this? Oh man. I'll reduce the squad size to increase the scouting speed. At least for a moment. Okay. So it's good that we didn't need an all-in. Okay, so there's an enemy there, and that's big problem of my current solution. I'm running there even. Okay, it's one more try and then I will stop doing that. Okay, points, whatever. So this part and this part looks exactly the same, which means that this was my starting point, so someone already moved out from the starting point. Do you have any short break in mind for those 7 hours that left? So I do a lot of short breaks. I'm getting up to get some drinks. Sometimes I eating some anything. I had a lot of short breaks. Sometimes I'm talking with the admins, just some random small talk. But if you're talking about taking naps, even power naps, I actually don't know how to do power naps, so it's out of the question for me. But no, I don't plan to do any napping or sleeping or whatever. Just no. I have rules. Okay, so I have 15 cottages, 16 cottages. So I'm going to expand now to, well, first of all, if I'm, yeah, I should definitely expand now. Yeah, I have 19 cottages, so that's actually a pretty nice chunk of the map. And I should feel fairly secure unless I'm actually very close to one of the skilled players. And I will quickly go up through the ranks thanks to that. The cottages function a little bit like a supporting mechanism for the trees. You need enough of them to support the trees. So in the case of balanced map like this one, it's actually a good idea to not think about any of the trees for the first 100 turns. Hey, Master Tide, how are you doing? Because you're probably doing better than me. I mean, it's very hard to do worse than me right now. I have never ever been talking so much to myself throughout my whole life. Probably not even half of it. Well, of course, not to myself. I mean, without seeing people in front of me, so you need help. I have some basic knowledge of Python, but I probably won't be able to help you. First place in second server. Yeah, it's, I mean, I have that for a while. Claims that he's doing badly. Oh, I mean badly in terms of not feeling that well and having lack of energy. Not in the terms of I think I'm doing surprisingly good in considering the amount of time I put into the coding. Okay, what's Stack Overflow? Website, haha. I honestly don't know when Python throws Stack Overflow. Did you Google it? I always have some strange. Yeah, Google it. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So as you see, I got the first place now here, thanks to that strategy of ignoring everything in the first place. And at the same time, I was very lucky. I actually didn't have to fight with any other players. It seems that those small things are those players that run without cottages. So they are absolutely harmless because they cannot spawn any new units. And this is a big. Okay, they should die soon. Is he attacking me or what? Okay, so I'm still leading, but I'm actually losing my lead a little bit, at least 69. I should really do a simple diff. Okay, I forgot what I'm counting. Crap. Okay, 21 and... Okay, that's not very good. So I have 21 and he has 30, and which team it is? Actually, it doesn't matter, I shouldn't check it. It's... Okay, so actually completely new team got into the third place. Let it monocopter. I don't know who those guys are, so cannot comment on that. Here I'm doing quite fine. Is there no public scoreboard available? I believe no, unfortunately. So watching the stream is probably the only way to see the current results. I mean, you can always ask me and I will gladly show it because I won't have to code anything during that time. So Charles University Legion leads with 16 points. Then it's Past Glory that they are gradually falling behind the Charles University Legion. There's I'm Found, which, well, they are slowly catching up to the Past Glory. And Płatnerze w Płaszczach, which it's hard to say, they are oscillating between 4th and the 5th place. Warsaw Roadrunners, actually, they are catching up. They were somewhere around the 10 to 12th place in the beginning, and then they're in 6th position now. Well, they are leading the Lim City second server, so probably that's it. Okay, I have a decent but not very big lead in the first one. I still have some commands left. And second server, do you have a favorite problem you have worked on which I can easily set up now and has a high level of depth? Well, it won't be a game because, well, you wouldn't be able to easily set up, but do you want to do it now, or can it be a little bit later? I mean, you can send me a tweet later and I will happily send something to you, some links. Right now, I honestly don't want to think about it unless you really want to do it now, so I'll think about something. And it also depends on how much time do you want to spend on such problem. I mean, if you have only 1 hour, then it's severely limited. Most of the kind of interesting problems requires at least 3 or 4 hours. So, and it's very late for you, so unless you're just not sleeping during the night. Yeah, I fell to the second place, and I'm falling behind, so it seems like I'm fighting against. Yeah, and I'm also falling behind here. I don't have a big army. Okay, that sounds great. I don't have a Twitter account, but I could. You don't have a Twitter account. I'm thinking about some way of. Well, yeah, you can ask about at the end, or you can send PMs on the Twitch, right? I'm not very experienced with Twitch, as most people can tell over here. Give me a moment. I don't see you in the chat for some reason. I mean, not in the chat, in the list of the people. Twitch has private messages, correct. Thanks for the info. No, well, please stop. So, give me a moment. Okay, I'll just give you a follow, and I believe that's what's enough to have private. Okay, sorry for that. Well, I remember you were at the beginning, and in the beginning there was complete chaos, and sorry for that. I don't know, Prazant 25k. Sorry if I'm butchering your nickname. Well, there was complete chaos in the beginning, so I was unable to respond to half of the questions. Sorry for that. It got much better over time, mostly because we got rid of all of the trolls. It's Well, it's my mistake that I posted the Twitch. Well, I wouldn't call it mistake, but because I posted the information about the Twitch stream on the Polish forum, which contains a lot of trolls. Also a lot of good people, but a lot of trolls. So probably that's why the beginning of the stream saw a lot of childish behavior. If you have any questions, I will happily answer them, because for some reason I'm not doing any coding, even though I have a strict, well, I have ideas what I should do now, and I was talking about it for the last 2 hours. Yeah, my English, is ruined right now. No, my first place. Give me back my first place. Can I? They're gaining 40 points, and okay, so I'm thinking about flooding like usual. I probably have nothing to lose, so let's do the flooding stuff here, and I will probably do the same here. Okay, as usual, I'm the idiot. I forgot to read this. The number of... Okay, maybe I have some chances to catch up. I doubt it, but maybe. We will see. It will be great. And we will do the same thing over here. Okay, by the way, do you concern doing any other educational streaming? How to build mindset, facts, and myths in machine learning? Honestly, it's hard for me to say. So I am considering doing something like that. I like sharing knowledge with people, but as you see, I'm very inexperienced with doing live streams. I have a lot of stuff to learn. I'm not able to code and talk at the same time. Well, I was kind of able to do that when I had much more energy, but not right now, unfortunately. But yeah, maybe in some future, maybe not that distant, I could do some less chaotic live stream. Well, the best way is probably to follow me on the Twitter, I believe. Well, yeah, it should be the best way. Since I use Twitter for posting, I don't spam on Twitter. I just use it in order to post mostly self-promotional stuff, let's call it. Even 10 to 15 minutes YouTube films would be extremely valuable. Yeah, kind of, but the problem is, so I have a blog, and since I don't know who you are, I have no idea if you're a competitive programmer or not, and if you're aware of it. By the way, I got the first place back. And so I created a blog 2 years ago, and with the idea of sharing knowledge. But the problem was, it turned out that it takes so much time in order to create even a very simple tutorial or write-up, and especially since my English is very far from being top-notch, it takes me a lot of time to write any sentence that I'm actually happy with, that it doesn't contain too many errors, etc. So it was a complete pain. I mean, I like to do the talking, but when it comes down to the writing, it's a real pain for some reason. So in case I would be doing YouTube stuff, I would have to be prepared. I would have to do the proper editing in order for me to be happy with the final outcome, and it takes so much time. So, and with the live stream, I can always say that I absolutely suck at doing that, and people will be okay, yeah, that's live stream. It's okay. The question from, by the way, how should I pronounce your nickname? Prazan. Is your name Prazana? I guess, I'm not sure if that's a popular name in India. I'm guessing you're Indian, but I can be completely wrong, so sorry for that. The YouTube channel. Well, I don't have an active YouTube channel. I just had, wait, what? Okay. When do you started participating in marathons? Any blog post of your first marathon experience? If you're talking about Topcoder, well, you can just check my profile on Topcoder and you will see exactly when did I start, how did I perform. Any blog post of your first marathon experience? Nope, not even close. It was in 2008, so, or maybe even, no, it was before. Let me check. I actually can check it right now. Or even easier, there's at the bottom of the Twitch stream, there are links, and there's a link to Topcoder profile. And within that, yeah, it will work. Or, yeah, so we can see my first contest was in 2007. Only in 2008 I decided that I will try to do as best as I can. So that's why you see the almost vertical graph. Essentially, it means how good I am, kind of. It's not great. Well, it has some problems, the writing, but it's a pretty good estimator how well I can perform at pretty much, I don't know. For the last several years, I am ranked 1 in marathons, which is pretty good, I guess. So yeah, I started participating in 2007, but I already had new map with 10,000. So, and I don't have my all-in, so I will mess this up completely, and I will here. Okay, let's move to the swarming part. Okay, so I started doing algorithmic competitions in 2005, so I already had 2 years of experience doing the competitive programming, the classic algorithms in competitive programming. And even though I'm kind of hating it right now, by hating I mean people give it way too much value. It gives you a lot of skills, but most of those skills are very narrow. So you don't want, if you try to be very an all-arounded guy, it's best to not focus on it too much. And then I pretty much as soon as I could, I moved into the marathons. And at the beginning, I was very reluctant. I couldn't force myself to spend more time doing them. Honestly, I was probably afraid of losing, or I didn't really feel that I'm good enough to. So if I didn't feel that I'm good enough, I didn't put my whole energy into that. For example, there's a 2-week contest. So if I'm not feeling confident, I will actually put less time into one contest. And if I'm never doing my best, I will never learn how good I am. So I had this one particular moment that you saw on the graph where I suddenly moved vertically uphill, and that was that moment that I just decided to do always as best as I can, and suddenly it turned out that I'm actually somehow pretty good at it, even though I never assume that I will be able. I always thought that I will be better in algorithmic stuff because I thought that I'm good at fast thinking, and it turned out that it's actually not the best skill I have, at least compared to others. I mean, I'm decently fast, but I'm very far away from the fastest people in classic algorithms. Even when I was in my top shape, which was several years ago. I mean, top shape algorithmically, not physically, but because in that way it's probably 10 years ago. Okay, so about I'll get to your question, Hinzenberg. I'll just start at the moment on the first server. I'm not because I'm getting my ass kicked pretty much. Not sure why. Well, okay, of course I know why. We started with 10k of knights, and I'm getting slaughtered from every possible direction. Yeah, like suicide, yay. Pain in the back. Okay, I don't think I can do anything here. I will just accept my failure. Okay, still not top 3. Oh well. Okay, so about the stuff, it changed a bit. So, for example, during the last marathon match, is a shortcut for marathon match. It's a competition type on Topcoder. They used a similar style that Kaggle uses, so they just gave you some data and you could do anything you wanted to. It was a speech recognition contest. For example, that was the very first time where my whole solution was in Python, like pure Python, not even C++ for parsing or converting the data. And it was so much pain. I really dislike Python, but for completely other reasons. And I'm complete noob in Python compared to C++. Okay, I will win this one, and it's getting very bad here. Okay, so yeah, so that's the one side, that they are actually changing that. At the same time, from customer perspective, so the people that are ordering those marathons, it's actually a pain to be able to use the solution, the solution that is used offline, to actually make it some deployable version. I know that Kaggle has that problem where after the contest they actually have huge trouble converting the winning solutions to something that actually works for the client, because people used AWS EC2 instances that worked for many days, and suddenly it should work in some very small fixed amount of time. And also about random forests. So probably not everyone knows, but the scikit implementation is probably one of the worst implementations of random forest that exist anywhere. It's complete crap. That's an understatement. It's slow, it uses way too much memory, the multi-threading is horrible, it produces bad results, you should never use it. And And actually, well, random forest is quite easy to implement. I know, at the same time, I fully agree that writing even random forest, that's not much of a big deal when you understand how it works. It's still a big pain for someone that is new to the contests. Okay, I'm pretty much that. Like, so for me it worked out that I had to learn all of the low levels. Sorry, let's call that machine learning low level. So I learned how most of the common machine learning algorithms are implemented, and I actually implemented them. I actually implemented convolutional neural networks in C++. I tried to do that. I probably had an error somewhere with calculating the, oh my god, with the SGD, the gradient descent. And it's complete pain. I don't recommend doing this. I actually think that Fiano, and yeah, it really helps things out. Okay, that monologue turned out to be very boring. Sorry for that. I don't participate in Kaggle contest. Somewhere on my forum you can find the reason why. I actually will try to find it right now. And I will post. So okay. I wrote a pretty big article on my blog about different kind of contests, and I honestly think that's a quality article, one of very few I wrote. Someone asked me the question about, okay, here it is. Not sure, maybe, okay. Okay, this is the link to the comment where I explained why I'm not participating in Kaggle. Books suck. MOOC, I'm not sure. Okay, so I started, I did pretty much two things only. Okay, also I have to suicide here, because that's just stupid. I guess this should help me with the suiciding. When learning machine learning, I did online courses like, okay. I read a lot of papers. I read a lot of random stuff over the internet. So essentially I try to get as many different sources as I can. Reading a book is a very bad idea on any kind of subject. The problem is that you are getting perspective only from one author. And you can assume that the author is complete genius and know everything, but having knowledge only from one source, whatever the quality of that source is, it's a shitty knowledge. I don't recommend doing this. So my goal was to understand the basics, to read as many things as I can randomly. So I used the papers. In the later stages, I used some random blog posts. I used Kaggle when people were posting their approaches. I used it because I tried to learn what are the effective approaches for different kind of problems. So when I used those, I could use those approaches on Top Coder because I already knew that random forest works pretty much in. Okay, oh, that happens. Works in all of those simple CSV style contests where you have a CSV file and you have to predict the last column or something like that. So I learned all of that through Kaggle, but not by competing, just by reading the forums. Competing on Kaggle, for me, it's a waste of time. I'm not saying it's a waste of time in general, but when I'm doing mostly machine learning stuff for the prize money, alternatively I could go to the work, but I don't want to work in 9-to-5 job, and so I'm kind of a independent contractor, but instead of doing some contracts or advising stuff, I just earn money from winning machine learning contests. Yeah, it's about time, Goldlex. It's definitely about time. Yeah, I felt... Okay, sure. Yeah. Eventually I will reply. It may take a while, but I will be able to do that. Okay. No problem. That's why I was doing the live stream. You're welcome. And also... Okay, so I have this wild idea that I will implement the all-in stuff. I mean, that's the main reason I'm losing so much points. It's 3:20. Not that late. I'm actually not. I'm not sleepy at all. I'm just tired, and I'm getting sore throat from all of the talking I do right now. Yeah. I really have hard time talking right now. Okay. How much? 3 points per turn. That sucks. Okay, let's check something like this. I'm wondering what will happen now, because the goal was to just randomly move all of the stuff. And everyone died. Like, seriously, what kind of minions I have? Bunch of losers. Okay, yeah, you can always ask questions, don't worry. Eventually I will reply to all of them, so don't worry. Sorry. Okay, that's a very strange map. No, what are you doing? Go get back. Crap. Oh, I'm going to lose this round pretty badly. All in. Well, as far as I know, I'm the only one professional competitive programmer that exists, so there are not too many people like me. I mean, it's not that like I'm really good, but it's more like when you are good enough to actually make a living out of doing that, you can get easily probably almost any kind of job related to problem solving. And so most of the people are just choosing something that, well, they're choosing getting a job since it simplifies their lives a lot. And I'm trying to be independent, and I like to do some strange random things. And well, this is what it drives me. So college is actually fine. Well, at least mine was fine. Okay, that's very brutal what's happening here. Yeah, that would be awesome, but it will never happen. So I can actually guess that he's stuck with his only initial. All of them are stuck with their initial 30k legion. That's probably correct explanation. Okay, current results, 21 points of the lead, and it's quite probable that Past Glory will not hold in top 2. We'll see about that. I'm doing mediocre here. And I'm going to lose that round. Yeah, I already lost 1/3 of my. Okay. I'll just try to focus for a little bit. You can ask any questions. You can ask questions if you have them, but I will just reply to them a little bit later. I mean, I'm talking for the past 2 or maybe even 3 hours about implementing the all-in stuff, and I actually had the half of it already. Okay. So I'll answer you later. Don't worry, I won't forget about it. I'll just need a little bit of time to focus on the coding. Focus. Well, I will never learn that. Yeah, I'm already in the 2nd place, and yeah, 3rd, and it will only go worse. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. Fortunately, I didn't lose too many rounds. Okay, I will. Yeah, already to the 5th place, as expected. So here I'm trying to gather enough of the knights, so in several cottages, in order to get more knights, and then spread over all of the trees, like I did in several other situations. So I'm not caring about the current score at all, like at all. But I still want to just look at the screen if everything happens in the supposed way. Okay. And here I already lost. Like in every other situation that I had 30k at the start. Okay, and here I'm doing pretty fine. Right now I'm just building the army. Not much point in doing anything else. I probably should stop scouting right now. So I'll increase the maximum squad to a huge number. If I remember my solution right, that should stop me from moving out from the cottages. And I have 10 cottages, so I will wait a few turns. In order to gain some more people, knights, minions. Minions is such a nice word. Okay, I have 12 cottages, that's pretty good. And so I'm gaining 60 minions per turn. And it's completely lost here. Okay, total trees. So do I gain any points? 3 per turn. That sucks, but yeah, I have. So you can look at the Dropbox. It has my code. I will actually give you my current version. Or again, my stupid Firefox doesn't want me to do that. Okay, let's do it this way. Upload, choose files. Stuff, M24. Okay, so Dropbox should the link to that Dropbox is below the stream. It's written somewhere there, and now it contains my current solution. It's very ugly. Okay, operation kill everyone. So 100 should be enough because I have 10,000 knights. So and again so you can see how quickly I'm climbing up in the ranks. That's very powerful strategy. 160 per turn, that's decent. Oh, and I actually lost everyone here. Okay, so that's not very good, and yeah, it will be a bit better soon. So you see, I'm already in the third position. I did the same thing I talked about before. The other team did. So I waited to have enough of the knights to be able to split them evenly across all of the trees. So that way, each tree gives me 2 points instead of just 1. So I'm able to get 100 trees, but I'm getting close to, okay, I'm getting 170 points per turn instead of just getting 100. Okay, and what the hell is it? Oh, okay, I just respawned. And okay, it's now 150. They're killing me somewhere. So that's the problem. And if I would be smarter, I would be avoiding them, but I'm not. Still, I'm gaining points much faster than anyone else. Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay, second place already. And first place already. That's pretty nice strategy, and it's so easy to execute. And the best part about it is that my stupid solution is able to handle several different strategies just by changing very simple variables, and adding them was actually very simple, even for my state of mind. At the same time, I'm losing a lot of points here. So you see that we are actually performing, okay, maybe not similar, but in places where, okay, I would draw that. No, it's not similar at all. Sorry. Come on, update faster. Yep, I passed them. So I finally got my intermediate goal of getting to top 3 on both servers, and that's what I tried to do, and I would consider it a very good result based on what I'm doing, really, with all of the talking. Okay, coding. Seriously, I'm... okay, so to remind everyone that is still watching this, I'm guessing most of the watchers are already asleep and they just left the stream open. That's my guess. Not sure how good it is. So the idea I had earlier was to move, essentially my problem is that overall I'm doing very fine, but there are some cases where you start with a huge army at the beginning and the goal should be to conserve it, but instead I'm just attacking everyone around me and I'm losing all of the army. And in lots of those maps, it's actually impossible to rebuild that army, even if you had twice as many turns as the map has. So, in such scenario, okay, I will finish first, at least I should. In such scenario, okay, I'll just change one more thing. Not sure if it's going to help, but hopefully it will. Yeah, it did. So in such scenario, I want to add functionality that will just move my whole force into one cell, and I will essentially try to live throughout all of those mini wars between different players, and hopefully my huge starting army will be unscratched. Since I'm already losing all of those small fights in those maps, I have nothing to lose. Pretty much all of my lower scores here, 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 and here are based on maps that had huge starting army. So it's a clear choice for improvement. And okay, what the hell is happening here? Okay. Okay, so if it isn't, and I have something to move, it's actually okay. I'll just copy this, and I can break out from here. Also, down should be equal to false. So again, an ugly hack, but it gets the job done. Squad ID, yep. Okay, I'll just in case, I'm not sure if it's going to work or not, but I'll add if the target is the same as the current cell. I'll just skip it, just to avoid a potential bug. So let's continue. Smarter counting, so I will never do. Okay, wait, I could do target. And so okay, so we are not doing any scouting when we are doing call in. Okay, okay, and target should be, yeah, it's equal. So I think it should work now. I mean, obviously that's not very useful. Am I still in the lead? Yep. And it would be great if I would be able, yeah, I'll just kill the server. It doesn't, I'm not needing it right now. Okay, yeah, it compiled, so hopefully what just happened. Okay, all in, so let's move here. It worked. I mean, it seems it works at least. Okay. That is all I needed, pretty much. So now I have to watch closely when the new game starts, in order to be able to set all-in destination, and hopefully all of my people, minions, will move to the same square before I will lose them all. The problem is that I'm not running away from the enemy, so I would have to watch closely what is happening, and I'm still at the risk of being hit by some random enemy. So maybe I should, well, I could add some code that would automatically avoid that, but we'll see. I actually don't know how many points per turn I'm getting. Okay, so getting back to your question. So I recently quit my job just to prepare for my Google interview. I don't know if it's a good move or not. Any suggestions on how to prepare for the Google interview? Okay, so without knowing anything else, I have no idea if it's a good move or not. I guess no one is able to tell you, and yeah, those are always hard decisions. I'm not a big fan of Google, mostly not because it's a horrible company, it's a decent company like anything else, but I'm really tired. Especially it's a common problem in competitive programming community, is that people think about the Google like it's something much better than the other companies. And I really dislike hearing that, because it's most people that go there are just good developers. And I mean, there are so many different similar companies like Facebook or even Microsoft where people also do interesting stuff. Not everyone works on in the Google car or DeepMind or something like that. That most people just do some simple development stuff. So that's about Google. I have no idea how to prepare for the Google interview. I never had quick fix. I never had actually I never had any kind of interview in any company. So that's about how much of independent guy I'm trying to be. Quick fix. So unfortunately I cannot help you with that. Okay, so this map looks a little bit tough. Hard to say what will happen. I'm trying avoiding fighting for any trees right now. It's pointless. It's clear that it's kind of balanced. And it actually has this diagonal thing going on, like it hears the repetition already. So it's clear that here you have all of the cottages and the rest is probably very barrow. Car AI. I guess that's way too complicated in order to have any real competition. Let's see the current scores. Yeah, they're getting bad scores too, so that's fine. I won the previous one, and yeah, I have to up my game a little bit. At least I'm in top 4, or actually I should say the places between 2nd and 4th. Okay, let's look at the global ranking. It seems that Past Glory caught up a bit, but it can be deceiving because the round just started and they are currently leading after like 5 turns. Okay, I got 12 cottages and I made a stupid ass mistake as usual, not updating the squad size. Okay, I still wonder how many points do I get per turn by sitting here like an idiot here. Okay, 13 cottages. Okay, so now I'm switching to balanced, so I will get all of the close by trees. Okay. Okay, another mistake. Now it should work. Does Gennady and Petr too are participating in marathon? Gennady participates, and he's in the past glory. So they are in the second place. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually the whole team for ICM ICPC contest. The whole team that won. I don't know in which year, sorry, I'm not into the classical algorithmic stuff. Piotr is not participating, but they both Piotr and with his team, with Egor and Pashka, participated in Challenge 24 and they won 2 years in a row. In 2012 and 2013. Yeah, that's correct. So honestly, they are, well, it's hard for me to say for sure, but they don't perform as good in those kind of problems as in classical algorithms, of course. At the same time, the sample size I saw is not very big, so I cannot really comment too much on that because I saw them participating only in several contests so far. Is scoreboard public? Unfortunately no, and honestly I have no idea why it isn't. So watching my stream is probably the only way knowing the current results. I believe the scoreboard will be frozen throughout the last 2 hours. I'm not sure. Normally the last 2 hours are not that important. Well, I'll show you why. Give me a moment. I will show you the final ranking from the last year marathon. Thank you, Artem, for giving the proper info. Artem, I don't know how to correctly pronounce this name. Okay, competition, gallery, media, contest, history. Okay. Okay, so to give you some comparison, this is the result from the last year, and in that year, we knew. Well, I'm saying we because I participated. That's me, together with Marek Cygan and Mateusz Rzodkiewicz. Mateusz Rzodkiewicz is Mojito 1 on Topcoder. So the funny part was that all 3 of us were Topcoder finalists in marathon that year. So we had a team that consisted of 3 of marathon finalists from TCO. Yeah, so like you see, we had a huge advantage, and we were pretty much sure that we were going to win, even with 5 or 6 hours before the end of the contest. I had a pretty solid lead in my problem, and Marek was doing very fine in his, and actually Mojito improved his. Well, he was doing kind of bad throughout the first probably 15 to 20 hours, and then he noticed several very stupid bugs right at the end, so he improved a lot throughout the last few hours. So we even extended our lead. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, it's not that interesting. Okay, I'm in the lead here. For some strange reason, the previous leader stopped gaining any points. I don't have a very comfortable position because, well, they're attacking me from the side, and I have a very narrow area, so that's not very fun. Maybe I should reinforce instead of attacking others. It's kind of getting cold here. I mean, it's 4 AM. Okay. I guess there are many resources to get better at algorithm competitions, like tutorials, data structure books, blog posts. What about marathon matches, AI competitions? Yeah, honestly, that's a problem. So there aren't many tutorials for marathon stuff. Actually, honestly, there are very few of them, and the reason I created a blog was that I tried to create some quality articles about that field, since, well, I have lots of experience about that. So honestly, I cannot recommend too much stuff about marathons. There are several reasons. One of the, well, it's also the reason why most of the publications in machine learning are not very good to be, this is understatement. Most of the publications in machine learning, the practical publications, are, well, worth pretty much nothing. The problem is that if you are doing some practical stuff, you usually need to, well, you have to compare it against other results. And in order to have a decent comparison, you actually need to have a very wide knowledge. And most of the people in research have either very narrow one, because you have to do the publications, so you have to find some part of science that no one pushed before, or everyone that pushed it before failed, which usually means that it's very hard to do so not too many people will try. Anyway, so the problem with this, I'm actually losing here. Not good. Yeah, I lost a lot of terrain. Definitely not good. So there are very few people that have wide enough knowledge to be able to tell anything more smart or actually close to the truth in optimization stuff. Either you will find completely like close to, I mean, there will be people putting the data out of their ass because they won't know anything, or they will just compare some problems in purely theoretical way, which doesn't make sense in most optimization algorithms and in most machine learning algorithms. So yeah, it's just very hard to find any knowledge about that. So that's why contests are still one of the best way to both gain some knowledge by, for example, reading what people did. I mean, you can look at the contest from different perspective. The papers, if you look at the papers, 1 or maybe 5 at most people wrote one paper. They compared several different methods. Their main goal was to be published, not so to get some more points to advance their academic career. And so their goal is not to do a great comparison or to create fair comparison. They just want to get published. At the same time, you have contests where the goal of every competitor is to perform as best as they can. So if 100 to 100 people from all over the world will compete in one contest, everyone will use a bit different algorithm. You actually have a decent sample size to be able to tell what algorithms are better or which are worse. It's absolutely insanely good source of knowledge and practical knowledge, and it's based on real data in this way. Of course, there's always a bias. For example, in Topcoder, way too many people will use simulated annealing because in many other contests, simulated annealing perform better than anything else. So there's always the bias. You have to take it into account. Okay, another long monologue. I'm losing pretty fast here. I'll probably wait a bit more. And here I just have no idea what to do. Okay. Okay, so I'm in the 5th place, not very good. At least it's not very bad. So oh, and like I said, they had 100 points before, but they would never manage to hold it. So they should be, yeah. It's so Charles University Legion is in the lead, in a clear lead right now, and you have a Past Glory they are falling behind in pretty much all of the problems. They are falling behind huge in Pac-Man, and they are definitely falling behind in Vitalina. They are still holding in Limp City, but well, yeah, it doesn't look too good for them right now. Probably they will be passed by AIM Fund. Probably. It's only 6 hours left, so not too much time to recoup the losses. Okay, change of the strategy as usual near the end. Not sure if it's going to help. I'm gaining 30 points, so not much. Maybe I'll manage to pass them, but I probably did it way too late and I already lost a lot of minions. You stopped participating in algorithm competitions. What else you do in your free time apart from coding? It's actually not that easy to answer. Okay. So, well, I'm a game designer, at least I like to call that myself. I have a small game studio. Well, I opened it in the January of this year. So I spent huge amount of time working, producing different prototypes for games that I wanted to make, but in the end it turned out that the project is too big. I have to settle down for something smaller. And so probably working on the, well, during many months I spent more than probably more than 200 hours working on that. When I switched to game design, I mean, I haven't made any money out of it yet, but I spent an enormous amount of time learning project management, relearning all of the how the current 3D engine works, from GPU perspective, from the math perspective, lots of stuff. I had my whole knowledge about engines was 10 years outdated, so a lot of stuff changed. Okay, I managed to climb to the second place in the first. Yep, that's pretty good. And so that's one thing, and the other one is that I'm doing escape rooms right now. Oh, you weren't around when I talked about it. So I'm opening a company, and escape rooms are, I mean, real life escape rooms. So those strange places where you are being locked up for an hour and you have some very specific kind of entertainment where you solve puzzles and different kind of puzzles. They can be logical, there can be more manual, like they can require dexterity or that kind of stuff. So doing escape rooms is the main thing I'm doing right now. I'm designing the story, I'm designing the puzzles. We already have an actual place that where it's going. All of this is going to happen. There will be several rooms. There will be in a single universum, a post-apocalyptic one, because we have our actual place is the bunker. So post-apo theme is, well, very natural. And well, yeah, so that's the main thing I'm doing right now. And that live stream it was just a pretty wild idea. I decided I won't participate this year in Marathon24, and I just thought what else I could do. Maybe I had a very strange idea for the final problem. Very unique one, but I cannot talk about it since probably I'm going to use it someday or some year, whatever. And then I thought about doing the live stream. It was the time when I started doing speedrunning, or more precisely, I started doing racing, which means that I was doing speedrunning with other person, and we were just racing who's going to finish the game first. And that's how the idea of live stream was born, pretty much. Any link to all of the stuff you mentioned? Okay, I don't have any link for prototypes. None of them is public. I cannot link to anything about the escape rooms. I mean, it doesn't make too much sense. Because, well, it will be a physical location, so unfortunately, unless you are in Warsaw, you cannot enjoy that. So that's one thing that sucks about escape rooms. They're physical in physical place, and I cannot show it to other people. The best way, well, and if you're interested in games that I will eventually do, the best way is probably to follow me on the Twitter. It's fake Psyho. The company thing? You mean the game company thing? So I'm posting the link to my Twitter. Hopefully I got it correct. Yep, I got it correct. So if you're interested about the games I Just follow me on Twitter, and if I will have anything worth posting, or if I will search for testers, I will tweet it there. Crimson Room. I guess you can type it with dots or something like that. Lydia. I got the name right? Or sorry, I'm really tired, so I can just check. I'm always forgetting your name. Sorry. Why not that? Not Chrome. Thank you. Okay, I missed the start of the. That's great. I missed the start of the round and I'm leading. I cannot complain really, although I don't know what's happening. Okay, move my minions. Okay, so what's happening? Because I have no idea. So I have very few cottages, and it's hard to tell what should I do now. Well, I just lost, so that's not what I tried to do. Well. About the winning, I'm happy with the results. Somehow that's not true because I will perform really badly. My goal wasn't to win. My goal was to just talk with the people, to explain them some random stuff, to answer their questions. I just try to perform good enough so that people will won't question my skills or whatever, and I think it turned out pretty well because I can honestly say that I am performing at the half, less than a half probably, at what I'm normally doing. So I would have all of this, what I have now, at around 6 to 8 hours. That's unless I would feel bad or very, very sleepy or whatever, that probably would never happen. But yeah, that's a quick summary. Okay, so I have to die now. And yeah, that's very strange map, and I should be more careful when the new map starts, so that, well, that's the problem when you are doing lots of stuff manually. You have to be ready to see if anything changes. Okay, I still don't know what's happening here. I mean, I'm trying to move. I don't know why they don't move out of the... Well, the tree size is very small. Come on, guys, move out. I don't know what's happening. Okay, and here it's even worse. Uh, yeah, back to the third place. At least a bit comfortable third place. I have no idea why. Normally when I reduce that... Okay, I figured it out. Now they will move. So I still had my all-in stuff. Used. That's why they didn't move out from the initial cell, which sucks. At what age you started coding and now you're at what age? I started... Okay, so it's a bit complicated. I started coding when I was 14. I started with Pascal and then I switched to assembler, then I switched to C, then I switched to C++. Okay. And then I pretty much stopped coding until I got to the university. I haven't done any coding at university, and I started coding again when I started doing Topcoder SRMs, which you can check the exact timing just by looking at my profile on Topcoder. High ranking SS. Now I'm 32, so I'm very old. If you consider average age of people that do competitive programming, but in terms of age of people that do machine learning, I'm actually maybe not very young, but probably in the middle of the people. I search a programmer. Okay. You found one, I guess. Okay, 36. It's 3 points per. Okay, that's going to end up badly. Where are my minions? Okay, that's peculiar because I don't know where they are. Honestly, I have no idea where they are. I speak French. I don't speak French, and I don't think too many people on the stream, in the chat, do. At the same time, I'm so tired. I'm sitting here for the last 19 hours. Like, this is how the stream goes, how long the stream goes on, and I've been here 1 hour before, and earlier I had only 3 hours of sleep, so I'm pretty tired. You're a clear outlier. You're good at what you're doing. You just want to know if it's experience or pure genius. I never considered myself as a genius, like not even close. I'm pretty sure that everyone is capable of what I'm doing. It's probably the reason is that I'm usually saying that the reason is that I'm good in marathons and the other kind of contests is that I'm an all-arounder. I never tried to specialize in one thing. I tried to do a little bit of everything. And I put a lot of hard work into everything that I have done before. When I played poker professionally, there were days where I spent 14 or even 16 hours playing or learning poker. When I played games. Well, when I was skill gamer, it's not a pro gaming stuff. I spent a lot of time getting better dexterity, getting better mouse control, that kind of stuff. When I did the program, when I learned machine learning, there were weeks when I read more than 100. Well, not read, but seen more than 100 papers from machine learning. So I put a lot of time and a lot of effort in order to be good. I don't consider myself as being good in math because I have very small math knowledge, and that's okay. Give me well, let's pause the talking for a little bit. I'm waiting here for the start and here for the respawn. Or okay, crap, I never restarted. Okay, so I did this too late. And I don't know what's happening. Okay, apparently I have some mistake. So no, I'm not good in math. Not even close. I don't have too much math knowledge. I don't do Project Euler, although I think it's interesting, especially for people that are just trying to do some tasks without having a time pressure. But it's the same reason why I don't do algorithmic contest. In my place, I have other things to do, and they give me more benefits. At some point, I just learned much more stuff from doing marathons. Then later, I learned much more stuff from doing machine learning contests. Then later, I was quite bored with it, and I switched to doing games because I was learning much more stuff. Even now, I'm actually learning much more stuff by doing a live stream. I'm learning how bad I am with talking and doing anything at the same time. You have to switch the stuff you do if you want to be good in many different fields, or at least be decent. And that was my goal, pretty much, to be decent in many different fields. I don't recommend reading books because the reason why I said I didn't recommend it is that the books come only from one author, and I strongly believe that the best thing you can do is to read many different sources of information, because as good as one source of information can be, it's always biased, and you want to get as many sources as you can in order to reduce the bias. You don't have a single best way of gathering the news over the internet. You don't have a single best programming language. There's no single best source of anything. So, and one book takes a lot of time to read. So books are bad, okay? Okay, I do really bad here. Also, apparently I have a bug somewhere. It's going so slow. You mean topic-wise blog posts and videos? Yeah, so Okay, let me fix the problem really quickly. So one of the problems with the books is that think about the reason why you want to publish a book. 20, 30 years ago, that was probably the best way to spread the knowledge. But now, if you want to publish something fast, you do the blog post, you do the video. Well, video is not a very good one, but probably you want to, or maybe you publish a white paper. But you don't write the book because it takes way too much time. The tempo of information spreading is much higher. So there aren't many reasons why you want to publish a book. Maybe, well, it's not the best way of earning money, definitely, but maybe you want to gain some notoriety. I pronounced that badly. So what I'm saying is that people that actually want to spread the knowledge won't publish books in current times. So it's another reason why books are not the greatest source of knowledge. I mean, people are creating internet courses. It should be much better, right? You have this idea that it will be interactive, it will be instant, and it's actually free to other people. And the other way, you have a book you have to pay for. And often no one is reviewing it, no one is correcting if there is a mistake, or they correct it very late. There are many reasons why books are a very bad source of information. Okay, also, what the hell happened? Okay, they won the last. Okay, so again we have a balanced kind of. Oh, and I performed really badly here. Okay, it's 4:30. This first server should restart anytime. Okay. It looks good so far. Although starting right next to the other players, it's never good.